Hey guys, and welcome to Skyworld, and this video will travel to Chicago, the third largest city in America behind New York and Los Angeles, that is home to 2.7 million people. It's the epicenter of Midwest, a region in the U.S. known for its farming and manufacturing. They call it America's heartland. Chicago is located in the state of Illinois at the southwestern tip of freshwater Lake Michigan. It has the third largest economy in the U.S. with a gross metropolitan product of $770 billion, which is more than that of Switzerland. The city is known for its bold architecture, diverse economy, universities, and urban beaches along the shores of Lake Michigan. But let's talk about its history first. Chicago was incorporated as a city in 1837 and grew rapidly throughout the 19th century, becoming an important center of commerce and a transportation hub between the eastern and western United States. A flourishing economy brought residents from rural communities and immigrants from abroad. The Great Chicago Fire of 18 much of the business district and left more than 100,000 people homeless. But despite that, the city continued to grow rapidly, and by 1900 Chicago was already the fifth largest city in the world. Today, the Chicago metropolitan area, also known as Chicagoland, is home to 10 million people. It's an international hub for finance, culture, industry, and technology. It's home to the Chicago Stock Exchange, now called NYSE Chicago, where the first standardized futures contracts were created. There are four major sections of the city: the Loop, the north side, the west side, and the south side. Let's start with a Loop. If you come here for business or as a tourist, this is where you'll be staying. It's a beautiful Sunday night and we're cruising down Michigan Avenue. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is the second largest central business district in the United States and the most Manhattan-like place in the U.S. outside of Manhattan itself. The good part is Chicago is much cleaner than New York City because garbage goes out for pickup in the back alleys, not on the sidewalks in front of stores and restaurants as is common in New York. Chicago's Loop is home to the best entertainment in the city, first-rate hotels, and world-class shopping. My first impression was wow. The Chicago River and its Riverwalk are just fantastic. You can take an architecture boat cruise up Chicago River and you can gaze up at a lot of cool buildings like Chicago's famous Marina City Towers, aka the Corn Cobs. It was an urban experiment by architect Bertrand Goldberg designed to draw middle-class Chicagoans back to the city after more than a decade of suburban migration, because downtown living hasn't always been so trendy. The Loop architecture has been dominated by skyscrapers and high-rises since early in its history. The Home Insurance Building, built in 1885, was the world's first skyscraper. Willis Tower, the third tallest building in the U.S., currently formerly known as the Sears Tower, was the world's tallest building for nearly 25 years. It has an observation deck, but it was closed at the time of our visit. Trump International Hotel and Tower is the seventh tallest building in the country. And here's the tower of the most favorite politician in Chicago, Donald Trump. The Loop is a first-rate shopping destination. North Michigan Avenue features a lot of boutiques, restaurants, and high-rise malls, and a section of it called the Magnificent Mile is an upscale shopping street home to restaurants, luxury retailers, and hotels. It's the fourth most expensive shopping street in the U.S. behind Fifth Avenue in New York, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and Union Square in San Francisco. Here you will find such historic landmarks as Chicago Water Tower, the terracotta Wrigley Building skyscraper, and the 100-story John Hancock Center, which is now called 875 North Michigan Avenue. It's got 360 Chicago observation deck where you can ride Tilt, Chicago's highest thrill ride. It's an enclosed moving platform that literally tilts you over Michigan Avenue from the 94th floor. The Magnificent Mile serves as the main thoroughfare between Chicago's Loop of luxury high-rise apartment towers and stone mansions. But Chicago is not a concrete jungle. There are plenty of parks like Grand Park. It's a huge urban park which is sometimes called Chicago's front yard. It's home to the Buckingham Fountain and the Pritzker Pavilion, where free concerts and festivals can be enjoyed throughout the summer. Another recent addition to the city is Millennium Park, built in 2004, and it features crowd fountain and interactive work of public art and video sculpture. Lurie Garden, a beautiful and serene park that many people don't even notice because it's tucked away behind the tall hedges. And the Bean, of course. Cloud Gate is the official name. It's one of the modern masterpieces in the heart of Chicago. Its design was inspired by the liquid mercury, and the sculpture surface distorts the reflection of the city skyline. It's a great spot for taking pictures. We are in the Millennium Park and it has a A. Lot of cool installations and hard objects. The coolest, which I think is A. Cloud Gate. Right next door is the Art Institute of Chicago. It's hands down one of the best art museums in the country and one of the largest collections of impressionist art. Outside the Louvre you can spend days walking around the museum. They had the Obama Portraits exhibition in the summer of 2021. I could tell there's a little bit of an obsession with Barack Obama in Chicago, so there's a special gallery of Barack and Michelle Obama's portraits. And in order to go there we had to get a line. I got 108 people in front of me. That's how popular they are. If you didn't know this, Barack Obama was a professor at the University of Chicago Law School. But I was just wondering, can you imagine Donald Trump portrait exhibition in Chicago? I didn't think so. If you're into museums, then come to Chicago's museum campus. It's a wonderful 57-acre park that sits alongside Lake Michigan and houses several of the city's leading institutions all in one place, like Soldier Field Stadium, an American football and soccer stadium, the Shedd Aquarium where you can explore underwater worlds and watch rare and local aquatic creatures, Field Museum where you can spend a day exploring natural history and world cultures. As you enter you'll be greeted by Maximum the Titanosaur, the largest dinosaur to ever walk the earth. Amazing. You're looking at the largest mammal to ever walk the earth, but fortunately he lived 101 million years ago, so he's not a threat anymore. Here I am. And don't forget to say hi to Sue, the most complete and best preserved T-Rex ever discovered. Just the kind of stuff that I enjoy. And finally, the Adler Planetarium, where you can marvel at the wonders of the universe. The Chicago Theater District is a hub for world-class productions with many theaters like the Chicago Theater, CIBC Theater, James Nederlander Theater, and many others. By the way, this Biograph Theater on Lincoln Avenue, which was once a movie theater, was the location where notorious bank robber John Dillinger was shut down by FBI agents after he watched the gangster movie there in 1934. On a warm sunny day you can visit Navy Pier, which was open to the public in 1916. We are the Navy Pier close. Let's go have some fun. There's Ferris wheel. There's a carousel. It extends 300 feet into the water and offers over 50 acres of parks, shops, restaurants, and a 150 food ferries wheel. From here you can also catch a boat tour or just enjoy some tasty food and views of downtown. Now let's take a look at North Chicago. The northern neighborhoods are desirable for their waterfront location and nightlife, like Lincoln Park, one of the most affluent neighborhoods in Chicago, just 2 miles from downtown. The community is named for the 1,200-acre park, which includes beaches, gardens, a zoo, a museum, and more. This is one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city. My friend Chris lives here, so let's talk to him. People like they move here when they're just out of college, right? They get a good job in the city that pays decently well. They want to live in this neighborhood because there's a lot to do. District and its Gold Coast, which ranks as the 7th richest urban neighborhood in the U.S. and consists of luxury high-rise apartment towers and stone mansions. But Chicago is not a concrete jungle. There are plenty of parks like Grand Park. It's a huge urban park which is sometimes called Chicago's front yard. It's home to the Buckingham Fountain and the Pritzker Pavilion, where free concerts and festivals can be enjoyed throughout the summer. Another recent addition to the city is Millennium Park, built in 2004, and it